Hey folks, this is BestInSlot. Welcome back to our Biodome park build in Jurassic World Evolution 2. Now we've got a little bit of house cleaning to do before we get in. A few things I need to talk about. First things first, yes, I still have installed the Path Pack by Tricolor Gaming, and I will uninstall that before the next video. It looks kind of cool. It kind of looks like a spaceship, but I will uninstall that before the next video. I entirely forgot till about 2 seconds ago. Second thing, my dad is doing some building work in the room next to me. If there's banging or yells and expletives every now and again, I'm very sorry. It is not my intention. And thirdly, hi, how are you? Everyone having a nice day? That's cool. Now, fourthly, I am off to Disney tomorrow. Disneyland Paris. In Paris. We're going to Disneyland Paris tomorrow for a couple of, 3 nights with my niece and nephew because the kids have never been. And I may be away until at least Wednesday, we shall see. It depends how much I can get done today. Right, so, moving on with our world. What are we doing today? Well, today we're building a biodome. I know, shock. Everyone exclaim, thank you. And we're going to do an ocean biodome, but not really. We're doing a underwater research lab kind of thing. Slightly inspired by Jurassic Park, the game, as was suggested in the last video. It's going to be hard to match it directly, but we're going to do some cool tricks, and we're going to build a really detailed lagoon, basically. I don't know how the tour is going to work with this, now that I think about that out loud, but that's okay. So what we're going to do, first of all, is build the lagoon. Which lagoon do we want? Probably the Jurassic World one. And let's just build that into this section over here. It's going to be a decent size, but probably not much bigger than that, because my concern is, yeah, I want you to be able to see the creatures, basically. Like, and if we go any lower than this, you really won't be able to. Now let me just have a little look. This is just, I'll tell you what, let's save it first because I'm a little apprehensive. I just want to see how the aviaries are going to fit over this, because the aviaries and the lagoons, as far as I'm aware, are not one-to-one. I think the lagoon, yeah, as you can see, actually, the lagoon is larger than the aviary. So the aviary would have to be something like that. But that works okay, because what we can do is we can have a little gap on the right, and this can be where, what we'll do is we'll raise that up a little bit onto a ledge, so you can see into the lagoon from the tour vehicle. The idea was for it to be a tour, sure. Sorry. But, you know, I don't think the tour aspect is as important as just the straight up, make it a pretty park aspect, you know? Make a pretty park really is the most important part of this. Let's stick on a hatchery, because we're going to need that. A lot easier than trying to teleport our creatures. It's getting very dark and spooky. So, let's nip back in here. What we're going to do is, using Cryodynamics Wii Toolbox, is we're going to try to build something vaguely like the Jurassic Park, the game, Tylosaurus habitat. I'm tempted to make this smaller, but I'm not going to because that's silly. Multiple dinosaur threats. Oh, hey. How did you get out? Are you back in now? Yeah, cool. They do that, don't they? Come on, Dad, you said you weren't making noise. The pterosaurs have a habit of still breaking out. Now, no. So what we need first of all, this is like the key reason this is even going to work, is a research outpost. I'm going to stick that in the middle, like so. And that really annoys me. Alexa, be quiet. What is going on with my life today? Yeah, I do apologize if there's any noise or madness, but it's that or no video, so just focus on my lovely voice. So, thanks to Cryodynamics Mod, what we can do is we can take our bio research outpost thingamajiggy, which actually looks not too dissimilar to the outpost thing from Jurassic Park the game, it's worth noting, because of this kind of like round glass aesthetic. And we can grab that. I'm going to just rotate it a little bit, so it's more facing that way. And then we hold, is it B? Yeah, and we can just sink that down into the ground like so. I'm going to sink it so it's completely underwater. And about there, let's take a look at that. And we're going to drop that down, I think. Let's have a little peek in here. Very cool. So in Jurassic, well, this is actually honestly really close. In Jurassic Park the game, there is a circular, oh, maybe a little bit too deep actually. Yeah, I do that, don't I? A little bit higher up. There we go. I don't mind it being like on the sea floor. I actually think that's kind of cool. Ah, function. I love this as an idea. I think this is very, very cool, and yeah, I'm really happy that we sort of someone discovered this as an idea. And move it a little bit to the left. So in Jurassic World the game, you've got that. You've got like this glass ring thing on the bottom, this glass viewing area, you know, where they hang out, and then there's like a tube going up the middle. So, like I say, it's quite similar in a lot of ways. And then there's pipes and stuff along the ground. There's loads of rocks, and we're going to take it in a slightly more aquatic plant life kind of direction because I think that'll work better. But there's also these hanging, I don't know what they are, I don't know if they're feeders, I don't know if they're like viewing chambers, they're kind of hanging on ropes and they're lit up. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is go into our decorations, grab our light poles, our floodlights, and I think what we're going to do, because I think this is going to look really cool actually, is we're just going to dot these around the landscape in like a ring, like so. And then we're going to grab them, and I'm going to sink them down as well. And I'm going to try to guess roughly where the bottom of the lagoon is. Oh, there you are, you cheeky little blighter. Lost it again. I keep hitting the wrong button. I think it's there. Yes, grand. Hold B, raise that up a little bit, and then hopefully... Nope, not quite. Bloody Nora. You were in proper deep, weren't you, son? That's a strange sentence. Let's not say that one again. You were in proper deep, weren't you, son? See, I mean, you can't. I mean, you can kind of see though. I think that's quite a cool idea. I wonder if maybe I want one closer to the. Let me just try this out. Actually, let me just grab one we've already got. Let's grab that. I'm gonna bring it over here. I think it looks cool. I might keep one there. I quite like that. Sink that down a little bit more. Just so you can, I think I'm going to put a few of them in there actually, because I think being able to actually see them from the viewing thing is, otherwise what's the point, right? Like they don't really serve a function unless you can see them. So what if we go like that instead? What's that going to look like? There we go, that feels a bit more techie to me. I'm also thinking about, right, so I've got the lights, but what if we put in a few buildings, like a few, like the super techie looking buildings, and have them down there at the bottom of the ocean? Like the control center I think could probably work. It's got like glass at the top. Let's give that a go. Just ways to fill up the whole, because it's meant to feel techie and rocky rather than like it's a beautiful natural environment, right? So I kind of want to emphasize that feeling. Where did it go? There it is. Right, so let's put that there. Grab hold B, down it goes. Love you, Kaio. Let's have a little peek. How are we doing? Where have you... May have gone too far. There's a small chance I went too far. Although, you have to think about it, that kind of thing, where that building sort of barely pops above the ground, is actually quite... Oh god, you're a bit of a problem child, aren't you? I think that's really... It just has this vibe of there's a techie something out there. Another thing I want to do, I think, thinking about it, because this is great, but... it'd be a bit of a shame if you can't see one entire half of the exhibit, right? So what we're going to do... Which way are you facing? You're... that way, I think, to the right. So we're going to grab another one. And we're just going to put that going in the other way. And that way you can choose which one you want to use, and you can look at both sides of the habitat. You can't usually cross these over, can you? I don't think you can make something like this typically. Right, so let's grab that. Come on, bucko. What have I grabbed? A light, I think. There we go. Sink it down. I've got a nice little marker there to know how far to sink it. About there. And that looks about right. Come on, camera mode. You can do it. You and me, buddy, together. There we go. Lovely. So you can have it at different heights, in theory. Might be interesting to have, you know, the alternate view. don't know. I'll have a little think about that. But I like the idea of having the two together in the middle either way. And let's put a couple more buildings in. I think it's a nice idea. The problem with most of these is, you know, they've got helipads and stuff like that. You can kind of pretend this one is like a, oh, it's got a helicopter on it. Okay, I was going to say, we can pretend that the helipad is a, you know, a submarine, like it would open up to take in the submarine or something like that. But as soon as the helipad itself appears, I don't think you get away with that anymore. What else have we got? What else have we got? Something that looks sciencey, but it has to look sciencey but not outdoorsy. And it can't have helipads. There's actually very few buildings that fit that. There are very, very few buildings that fit that meaning. I think the fossil center's okay. Down it goes. Low peak. Oh, I actually really like that. I think it needs sinking down a little bit. I think it's floating slightly. I think that's really cool looking. It's a little bit trial and error, this whole process, clearly. Gone too far? Oh, no, I nailed it. Oh wait, no, it's actually not far enough. Never mind. Just never assume that I've nailed anything. It's folly. Right, I can actually see the black of the ground. So when that just reappears, should be, in theory, the exact perfect point. It's kind of cool, right? I think it's cool. My opinion is the one that matters. I actually preferred it before, rather annoyingly. Right. Is there anything else we could do in this same sort of vein? About there, just sitting above the tunnel. Okay, that's fine. We just need to move it forward now a little bit. This must be exhilarating gameplay. We're breaking the boundaries, ladies and gentlemen. Doing things people haven't done before. Maybe, I don't know if people have done this. I'm sure they have, but I haven't seen anyone do it. Obviously, people have done the viewing thing. Just trying something new. Ah, that's really cool. It's like a little stopgap along the way. Tunnel leads into there, tunnel leads out of there. You kind of use it. It kind of is. I'm vibing underwater a little bit. You know, the actual film Underwater, which is. Hello. Is that a fish that I just saw? No, we need to get some fish in here. We'll put in some fish feeders. But yeah, it's kind of like Alien, but underwater, right? That's all. It's kind of the whole idea. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that as an idea. I think that's cool. That's really cool, actually. Pretty chuffed. Let's get some fish. If I was a fish, are the fish gonna stay? Is the question. If I put in a bunch of fish, right? Will they stay? Oh, wait. Oh, I completely forgot that you don't need a path for these feet. Of course you don't. It's a feeder. Why would you need a path? Talking nonsense. I think they'll, you know... It's only a single fish. Right, okay, so we need to actually decorate the thing a little bit. So let's go into environment, let's go into rocks. I'm hoping these will automatically sink down. Oh, life is pain. Life is such pain. Right, I'm just gonna dot around a few rocks. I do want it to be quite... Right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna time-lapse this bit, because this is not going to be enjoyable. And what we'll do is we'll just do some sort of foliage, and mainly rock, but some foliage decoration to round things off. As I sink all these to the bottom, just like with the cave on the last video. So I'll time-lapse forward, and then we will we'll add some animals at the end. Sound like a plan? Sound like a plan. I will see you in a second. Okay, well that took bloody ages, mainly because of the plant life I tried to integrate, which was a terrible, terrible mistake. I did have one idea, which I kind of accidentally figured out though. What I kind of want to do is grab a fish feeder and sink that in as well. Kind of like, you know, they're doing like testing and stuff like that, so they need a feeder next to them so they can pump out fish right in front of the viewing area and then observe what happens, is the theory. So I'm going to do that. I'll sink that down. Try to get this right. About there, maybe. Let's have a little peek. I figured out if you just come up and you give yourself a little wiggle, which, you know, everyone does, then eventually camera mode works. That has not worked, however. I don't really know where I want that to sit. What if it sits directly over the top of the, if I put it like, let's just rotate that a little bit, just like that. And we put it right on top of the viewing area. This viewing area obviously then can't move, but we can then, boop, pop out a fish like so. Give me a minute, there we go. What is that, by the way? Oh, it's fish. Yeah, and then it pumps out the fish, and you're kind of in here watching, and wow-wee, mister, it's a fish. This is exactly what you would sound like. Oh. Ah, these plants, they were such a mistake. I don't know how I'm ever going to see that. It's here somewhere. Right, there. Okay, can we see that? I think it's there. Did I get it? I think I got it. It's hard to tell. It's really, really hard to tell. That's good, right? I like that. I think that's cool. Right, let's get some animals in here. What are we vibing with? I've already got a Mosasaurus, I believe. I think Mosasaurus is the only one we have, so not Mosa. Let's go Chrono, because Chrono is kind of beautiful. Random that up. How many do we get? 2. Let's get 4. It's quite a big... I want to make sure that you can quite often see the marine life, right? We might even go for 6, honestly. Let's have a little watch. That's a cool looking chrono. Don't know why they look nearly identical, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I think you can have 6. I think you can justify 6. It's a big habitat, and I want to make sure you can see them. Let's increase the size of this. Okay, ichthyes, yep, let's set the to random as well. We're going to have like quite a few of these swimming around. One of the key ways you can circumvent the problem with the water being super misty and being unable to see is A, doing what we're doing here and having the viewing platforms in the middle, which obviously you need mods to do correctly, but yada yada yada. The other way is by having just a buttload of marine creatures. Right, what is possibly a threat? What? How are you a threat? You're a Chronosaurus. You can... Oh, because they're inside the... Oh, that's interesting, actually. How... Wait. Chronosaurus, danger the threat. Danger the guests. How... Oh, is there any way to get that without mods? I can't think of a way you would possibly ever do that without modding. That's actually quite interesting. Right, you're all popping out. So I've got... How many? 24 ichthyosauruses. And let's get a couple of atom burrows, because I love them so deeply. We get 5 of those, not too many atom burrows. So a little treat, you know. A little treat. Okay. Oh, God, they're all... whatever. Right, and I'm going to add the aviary now back on, and I need to think about this. So that's going to go... It's going to obviously stick out a little bit. That's kind of perfect over there. And if I then... Well, no, let's just make it stick out by 1... God damn it. If you just make it stick out a little bit like that. Ooh, it's very close. Is that touching? I mean, no. I might just leave it like that. So that would be the driving area there, basically. And let's raise that up as much as we can, which is barely any at all. Flatten that down. Lovely, lovely. Looks a little ridiculous, but that's okay. It'd be better if we just smooth it out. Smooth it out. And we'll chuck some trees in, because of course we bloody will. When do we not? Okay, that is our ocean-ish biome, and the car will drive along there and be able to look in. So let's try this out. Let's have a look through our not marine fish feeder, maybe, but the I wonder if there's a way to get the monorail working. Is that a cool idea? Oh, that would have been a cool... No, because I can't sync the track. No, I can sync the track. Surely if I sync the actual monorail itself, I could sync the track and have like an underwater transport submarine system. Okay. Bear with me. Let me just I think this is a really fun idea. Let me just try this out. I delete some of this aviary so I can see what I'm doing again. I should be able to rebuild it perfectly anyway. Okay, so we've already got the monorail in there, right? It's on this right hand side, I believe. Let me just knit down. Double check. Yeah, the monorail's over here. So what if we then have... Right, I'm just gonna put one... Is this ever going to work if it's not connected by the path? That's the problem. No, it's not going to work, never mind. Oh, that was exciting for a second. I think if it's not connected by the path, it literally just doesn't... It doesn't move, right? The monorail. Yeah. Oh, it's a little sad. That could have been really fun. I'll figure out a way to do that eventually. I like the idea of doing something with the monorail. It might be like an interesting way to do a biodome exhibit, though. You can have the path just going out of the whole thing. Maybe have like the monorail sticking here initially. The path just kind of pokes through a little bit. And then you can do some blah, 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 blah. And I think by sinking the monorail down, you could do some cool stuff. I kind of like the idea of making like a roller coaster park. That you just tour the whole thing on a monorail, but it's wild. It's quite an interesting idea. What is this? Why is there dimension on there? Right, anyways, let's check. Oh my god. Let's check out these viewers. There's one like here. It's hard to find this one because it's beneath the... There it is. I really like this. This really has the vibe that I was going for. Techie, sciencey. Oh no! You know what's happened? As I've deleted the aviary, it's deleted all my rocks. I'm not doing that again. They're all over here still. Because that's not where I deleted the aviary. Oh, why would that happen? Game, why? Why do you hate me so much? Like, the ones on the outside are fine, but all that work I did on the middle bit here, gone. Oh, for the... Oh, I really like it though. I really like having all these buildings sunk down here. I think that's a really cool idea. I will go back and add the rocks. It pains me. It really does. But I will, at least in this middle portion, I will go back and add the rocks in. But yeah, I think it's got Jurassic Park the game vibes. It's very similar to the Mosasaurus habitat we did, of course. Oh, I can't believe that. My god. You know what? That's happened to me before, so I kind of knew that was going to happen, but it was a long time ago. All my lovely rocks. Also, where's everything other than a Chronosaurus? There they are. There's our ichthyes. I just think you don't really see this kind of thing, right? Because you can't get buildings down here, so it's not a thing that happens very often, but I think it really adds a lot. It makes this area feel just so much more interesting. I'm just trying to cut away from them before they swim into the buildings. Because they will swim through the buildings, as far as I'm aware. Although they do seem to avoid them. I don't really have evidence for that, but my impression is that they will clip through them if their pathing takes them there, but their pathing will try to naturally avoid the buildings. You're lit up by the lamppost thing. That's very cool. So you need to stay there because that's going to be my thumbnail. I'm going to need you, Chronosaurus. But yeah, that is our... I love it when you pause it. It's like a diorama or something, you know. I'm really happy with what I've done here. I think there's some cool new ideas. I'm very, very sad about the rocks. I don't think they're a great loss, but oh man, I just should have saved it. I just should have bloody saved it. But I will probably add them back, dotted around here. You doing Atten? Yeah. Otherwise, very cool stuff. Right, we will end it there. Thank you very much for joining me, my lovely ladies and gentlemen. If I don't see you till Wednesday, I do apologise. My hope is to get at least one more video done before I go, however. That'll be on Monday, so hopefully you won't miss me too much. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you lovely folks very soon. Cheers, much love as always. Bye-bye.
Reaching out.